What is it about a man that makes him choose a public life?
California is worth fighting for, no matter how long or hard that struggle might be.
For 19 years, Senator Tom McClintock has looked to the future of California.
Let it be said that our generation rose to the occasion, that we struggled and sacrificed and ultimately succeeded in restoring to our children that golden state, that California of opportunity and plenty that our parents once gave to us.
He's somebody who I trust to leave California better for my kids.
He has been the lone voice of reason in the legislature for a good 20+ years.
He is a man that stands on principle and will not deviate from those principles.
That's my man.
Along the rolling hills of California stands the town of Thousand Oaks. When the McClintock family settled there, it was a sleepy bedroom town. The 50s and 60s were a time of high hopes and big dreams that fueled the expansion of California, and a young Tom McClintock watched as his home state grew up around him. Inspired by great men like Thomas Jefferson and Winston Churchill, Tom entered the public arena, working tirelessly to elect new leaders like Barry Goldwater and Ronald Reagan. First elected to the California Assembly at the age of 26, Tom quickly distinguished himself as an expert in fiscal policy. During his 19 years in the state legislature, he authored California's death penalty law, spearheaded the campaign to rebate over $1 billion to the people of California, and became the driving force in abolishing the car tax. Elected to the state Senate in the year 2000, Tom's voice continues to inspire a new generation of California Republicans.
This party has every right and every duty to clearly and proudly define those principles upon which we stand, and to follow Ronald Reagan's winning advice to paint those positions in bold colors and not hide them in pale pastels. That is the Republican vision for California. It is the destiny of California, and with the support of the people, it is the future of California, as long as we stay together and as long as we stay the course.
Today, Tom McClintock stands with Arnold Schwarzenegger in a battle for the future of California. But in 2003, there was still a governor's race to be run.
Bill, this is turning out to be quite a story in California.
Now that's a pretty profound development in the history of the state. When families looking for a better future, a better place to raise their kids, look at our beautiful state with all of the blessings that God could bestow upon the land and find a better future out in the middle of the Nevada and Arizona deserts than they found here in California.
Who won this debate? Who had the best performance in your estimations?
Well, I think that McClintock had the best performance in many ways.
I do believe that we ought to have a society where everyone has access to health care. Unfortunately, I believe that we can do that in a much more rational way through a simple tax credit on a sliding income scale that will bring within the reach of every California family a health plan of their own choosing and selection.
I thought Tom McClintock had the best of the candidates.
There are millions of people who are willing to abide by our immigration laws to come to this nation, become Americans, and see their children grow up and prosper as Americans.
The good news about Tom McClintock is you know where he stands. There's no fudging, and that's what I like about you.
McClintock was quite impressive, but look, he knows what the problem is in Sacramento, bigger than much more than anybody else does.
The best night was McClintock.
Schwarzenegger goes zooming ahead in the polls after you outscored him in the debate, the only debate. It seems like life is unfair.
Well, and politics is unfair too. But again, my job is to convey a message to people that, you know, if you feel I'm the best qualified, vote for me. If everybody does that, we win.
I was going to vote for Gallagher, but now I think you're the guy. No, you're the first one that's really said anything of substance so far.
Senator Tom McClintock.
His first TV spot begins airing in California's Central Valley tomorrow. It is described as a, quote, vision piece on what California can be.
California used to be the Golden State. Taxes were low, jobs were plentiful. Tom McClintock was there.
I lived in that state once. I remember that state. You remember that state. It was real.
Now California stands at a turning point.
Don't you think that we ought to go and get that state back?
We must have a governor who knows every inch of this government and who stands willing to challenge the spending lobby that controls it.
It means bringing our electricity prices back down under control, cutting our workers' compensation costs by 2/3, and rescind the tripling of our car tax.
A governor willing to make the tough decisions.
This can be the moment when we roll back the taxes and the regulations that are destroying our economy, that we restored California's public works.
To return to our children the golden state that our parents gave to us.
Folks, we can do this.
In the years since, Tom McClintock has continued to develop innovative budget solutions to restore California's great public works and to sustain the reforms that started so many years ago.
Ronald Reagan opened that era, and it's now for our generation to cultivate it, to expand it, and to extend it on to the next.
Every promise, every opportunity is still golden in this land. And through that golden door, our children can walk into tomorrow with the knowledge that no one can be denied the promise that is America.
And upon us, my fellow Republicans, rests the question of whether our generation will restore the potential and promise that California once stood for. Never has the choice been clearer between the two parties of this state. They offer the rationing of shortages. We propose a renaissance of new public works to restore the abundant water, the clean electricity, and the open roads that we once took for granted. They offer higher and higher taxes and more costly regulations. We offer freedom. And that's what's really at stake with this election: freedom. Thank you all.